Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, the Mad Kiger, up here today with the next part of the PlayStation 2 collection. I think part 8. I have to double check that. Yeah, I got a couple of things coming from Amazon. Got a new American DVD box set with like 12 movies on, which hasn't turned up yet. That'll be tomorrow. And I also picked up Greedfall on PlayStation 4. I've heard mixed reviews about that game. I don't know, it looked kind of interesting, but when that turns up, I'll show it in the next video. But without further ado, let's just get straight to this so we can get through it. First up, we have Star Wars Starfighter, a flight game based on it's based around Episode 1. So it's an okay Starfighter game. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's kind of nice to have another like Star Wars game based around Episode 1. I think it's based before Episode 1 or in between Episode 1 and 2. I don't know. We have Rune Viking Warlord. I've actually played this game versus mode with my friend. It's a pretty fun versus game as for the campaign. I haven't played it, but it's kind of an interesting game. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's alright. We have Sylphid, The Lost Planet, another shooter. I don't know how good this game is. It looks kind of alright. It's another shooter. I do love my shmups. And we have SingStar Pop World, of course. There's plenty of SingStar games on PlayStation 2. And I do have the microphones as well. Then we have SSX on tour. The SSX games are fantastic. Snowboarding, racing game, very arcade style controls, fast action. And yeah, these games are really fun. Definitely check out SSX games. Tricky and 3 is often considered to be the best too. We have Tenchu, Wrath of Heaven, originally a PlayStation 1 series. Stealth ninja game. These games are, they sort of spawned that Sekiro game almost. Yeah, kind of a series that sort of died off. People are asking for it back. Then we have SSX3, of course, very awesome game. This game's considered to be one of the best ones. Some people like this one more than Tricky. It's definitely a choice. We have the original Star Wars Battlefront where it all began. Love this game to pieces. And the good news is this game is free now if you have an Xbox Live Gold account. This game is free with Gold this month, the Xbox version, of course. So you can have all of the Star Wars games on Xbox. Then we have SOS Final Escape. This is like a disaster movie in terms of a game. I've heard this game's really good. I think it's called something different in America. I think it's called Disaster Report in America. But this game's a really, really interesting game. I've heard good things about it. I haven't played it though. We have Space Invaders Invasion Day. This is basically Space Invaders, but with an actual story to it. It's kind of an interesting one. It's nothing amazing, but it's kind of an interesting one. It took me a while to find, actually. We have Siphon Filter, the Omega strain, of course, originally a PlayStation 1 series. Haven't played any of the Siphon Filter games. I've heard they're good games. Well, mixed bag kind of thing, but I do want to try them out. We have Starsky and Hutch, based on the movie, I believe. This game's got like a cool co-op concept. One person drives and one person shoots. So that kind of an interesting co-op concept there. Makes sense. Then we have Stock Car Crash, another very bland racing game. Plenty of racing games on the PlayStation 2. And we have the original Warriors Orochi. Of course, this game series, I come to this series quite late. And remember, it's basically Warriors, Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors combined. And I do like the series. I do want to get the ultimate version of 4. We have Splashdown, a very fun jet racing, jet bike, skis, whatever you call them, series. The second one's often considered to be a really good game. Then we have Summoner 2, another sort of RPG on the PlayStation 2. Who made this game? GHQ. And we have Frequency. I believe this is like a music game, kind of like music. It's an interesting sort of rhythm game. Kind of an interesting one there. Then we have SpongeBob Battle for Volcano Island. Of course, Nicktoons characters, Danny Phantom, Very Odd Parents, and SpongeBob, sort of like a platformer beat 'em up style game. Then we have Silent Hill 3, the classic. Of course, the Silent Hill series is it's a very beloved horror series. Unfortunately, it's not really going to get a revive. Unfortunately, with all that problems with Kojima and stuff, so kind of sad. Splashdown 2, this game's often considered to be one of the most underrated racing games. This is a Metal Jesus recommendation. We have State of Emergency. I loved this game as a kid. It's a really interesting game. I always thought this game had co-op when I was a kid. I remember it having co-op, but it don't. It's basically like a frenzy game. It's a Rockstar game, but you just go around causing chaos and shooting things and blowing stuff up. It's the epiphany of a mindless game, but it's definitely an enjoyable one. Then we have Shocks Rally Reinvented. Yeah, this game looks kind of cool actually. Arcade racer. I've got to try that one out. Then we have Stuart Little 3's Big Photo Adventure, the only Stuart Little film I never actually saw. I didn't see the third one. Don't know how good this game is. I love the original Stuart Little movies. We have Soul Reaver 2, the Legacy of Kain series. I like to believe these games sort of spawned the Darksiders games almost. So if you like that sort of Darksiders style of game, these games are similar in my opinion. And we have the original SSX, all started somewhere, and of course started on the PlayStation 2. iToy Play 2, another iToy game, still need to track one down. We have Spider-Man 2. For so long, this game was considered to be the best Spider-Man game. The webbing in this game was perfect. The open world, just everything about this game was fantastic. It still is a great game to go back and play, even if it is based on the Tobey Maguire movies. But this game was fantastic, and for so long this was considered to be one of the best superhero games. It still is a great game. Of course, the new Spider-Man game sort of pushed it out the park, but it's understandable. And we have Supercar Street Challenge, another supercar customization racing game. Bassmaster Fishing, another Age Tech game there, fishing game. And we have a Disney Move iToy game, a kids Disney game, of course, one for the children. SingStar 80s, some 80s music on there. Excuse me. And we have Star Wars Jedi Starfighter. This game was free on Xbox as well a while back. This, I believe this is based around episode 2 and 3. Yeah, another flight game. Starships, of course, very important part of Star Wars. And we have SingStar, the original, where it all began. Then we have Project Eden. I don't know why, but I think this game was a Dreamcast game. Part of me thinks it is. I think it's a third-person shooter. Don't know how good it is. A DOS game. Sonic Riders. Basically, Sonic meets SSX, almost. I remember these games actually being kind of an interesting racing game for Sonic. And then we have SSX Tricky. I believe this was the second one in the series. Yep, fantastic game. SBK 07, Superbike World Championships. I like the arcade versions of these games, but the console versions are more simulation, I believe. The Getaway, Black Monday. I actually love the open world mode in this mode, the free play mode, where you can just drive around London, you're a cop and stuff. So it's basically Grand Theft Auto in London. And I know there is a Grand Theft Auto London game, I am aware. Skate Attack. Another skate game. It kind of looks a bit like Jet Set Radio or Jet Grind Radio. Soldier of Fortune, Gold Edition. I remember playing this on PC. Maybe not this version, but Soldier of Fortune. This game was very violent for its time. Very gory game. Star Wars The Force Unleashed. I've actually seen that this version of the game, the PS2 version, is actually different to the Xbox 360 version. So it's not just a dumbed down version of the Xbox 360 version. It's actually a completely different game. So it's kind of an interesting one. I have to try this one out because I did like Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Short games, but fun games. Star Ocean, Till the End of Time. Another very beloved Square Enix JRPG. That will be going with my JRPGs and more rare games, I guess. Spy Hunter. A terrible remake of the classic arcade game. Unfortunately, it didn't sell very well. Mark Echo's Getting Up. Content Under Pressure. I've heard this game's really interesting. It's like an open world graffiti style game. It's interesting. It sort of reminds me a little bit of like Infamous almost, but maybe not as in depth as that, I guess. Madden 2004. Of course, Madden is a series that is still going strong today. Max Payne, one of the all-time classics on PS2. This game is absolutely fantastic. It is one of Rockstar's greatest achievements from the PS2 era. Excellent game, bullet time, great story. Even got a BAFTA award. That just goes to show how good it is. It's very in-depth game, very mind inducing game, and yeah, I played a little bit of this one. I never beat it, so I'm gonna have to go back and play this. You can get it on PS4 as well. We have Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter. I always thought when I was a kid, when I seen all the adverts for this game and stuff, I always thought this game was a Star Wars game just because it had the word Bounty Hunter in it. But at the end, it's nothing to do with Star Wars. It's just a sci-fi shooter almost. Madden 2003. I don't know the players' names. I am so sorry. Manchester Club Football. Manchester United, sorry. We have Manhunt, a game that got banned in so many places. This game was very violent for its time, very dark, and it's still, by today's standards, it's a little bit tame. But back in the day, the idea of like some of the executions in this game were brutal, and of course, this game got banned and then re-released with censorship and stuff. So, yeah. Marvel Ultimate Alliance, one of the all-time great Marvel games. I absolutely love this game. And I don't know if the PS2 version has any exclusiveness to it. I know one of them has some exclusive characters in it. But yeah, PS2 version. Master Rally. Another rally game there. He-Man, Masters of the Universe. There's not many He-Man games out there. There was one on in television. And then obviously, I think that was in ColecoVision, sorry. And then there's this one. There might be another one out there somewhere, but never really watched He-Man. So, Mashed. Drive to Survive. This game's very much like Micro Machines, like a top-down isometric style game. Really fun. Need for Speed Underground 2, the all-time classic. Excellent game. This game took the first game and blew it out the window with its open world. It was excellent for its time and still is a great game to go back to. Oni, one of the Rockstar games that not many people talk about. It's an interesting concept. It's like an anime-esque game. It's kind of an interesting game. It's nothing amazing by today's standards, but has some pretty cool combat in it. Need for Speed Pro Street. This is where Need for Speed sort of went off the tangent, and I sort of stopped caring about Need for Speed after it went away from the tuner cards. Space Race, Looney Tunes game. I believe this was originally a Dreamcast game, as with many PS2 games. Super Buster Move 2. I love the Buster Move series, the bubble popping games, and of course there's plenty of mobile games like this these days. Star Trek Voyager, Elite Force. Not many Star Trek games on PS2, unfortunately, but it is a first-person shooter based on Voyager. I haven't watched Voyager yet. I'm still on the Next Generation, but of course there's the Borg in Hiss game. I have seen some gameplay for this game. It looks kind of interesting. Then we have Street Dance. another dance game. I think you can use dance map. Summer beach volleyball, summer heat. I've heard this game's kind of an interesting volleyball game. If you like volleyball, kind of a interesting little game there. Then we have Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Excellent game. This game was amazing. It's I believe there was meant to be a sequel to this game with Boba Fett, but it never came to be. This game was re-released on PS4, so you can get it on PS4 now, and I have it on PS4 as well. I played it on PS4. But yeah, this game is great. It's a very challenging game. It gets quite hard into some of the later levels, but was a great game for its time. Then we have Sonic Mega Collection Plus. And of course comes with a bunch of classic Sonic games there. So some people are asking for a Sonic Mega Collection for the Switch, which would be awesome. Need for Speed Most Wanted. In my opinion, the best Need for Speed of all time. This game was absolutely fantastic. I took everything that was great about the previous games and just combined everything and made it even better. Need for Speed Underground. I absolutely fell in love with this game when I was a kid. It was excellent for its time. Still is a great game to go back and play. But this is where it all kicked off the whole Fast and Furious style games. Newcastle United Club Football 2005. Nicktoons Attack of the Toybots. Another platforming Nicktoons game. I don't know if I've already shown this one. I might have 2 copies actually. Sonny Garcia Surfing. I don't know how good the surfing games are out there, but here's one. Maybe I am showing some that I've already shown. If I am, I'm so sorry. Space Invaders Anniversary comes with a collection of 9 different Space Invaders games. Classic. Super Buster Move with a terrible cover. This game has one of the worst covers in history, but the game is actually pretty fun. Shit, I'm running out of space here. Then we have Need for Speed Carbon Collector's Edition. Of course, with some extra bonuses. Carbon was a pretty good game. I just didn't play it as much as the previous ones. NHL 2003. Hockey games. Hockey games can be quite fun. NHL Blitz 2002. This is like a more arcadey version of the hockey games. Of course, violence and stuff, which is why I do like hockey games. Ninja Assault, another G-Con game. Of course, I wish I did have the an old TV to play G-Con on. I have played them on there before, and they're pretty fun. Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX 2. I remember one of the Tony Hawk games had a demo for this, and I thought it was awesome. It's Tony Hawk with bikes, essentially. Metal Arms, Glitch in the System. It's like a Ratchet and Clank style game. I've heard this game's pretty good. Mercenaries 2, World in Flames, made by Pandemic Studios. This game is actually pretty cool for its time. I played it on the Xbox 360 and the original Mercenaries Playground of Destruction. Medal of Honor Frontline. This was the Medal of Honor. This game basically gave Call of Duty a run for its money back in the day, and it still is an excellent World War II shooter. It's an excellent series. Primal. I've heard this game's really good actually, and it is on PS4 as well. I hear this is kind of an interesting sort of like action RPG. Then we have the Onimusha series, Onimusha Warlords, Onimusha 2, and Onimusha 3. I am missing one of the Onimusha games. These games are kind of like a mix between Devil May Cry and Resident Evil and Ninja Gaiden almost. They're very like tough, challenging games, with the hard difficulty, still backgrounds and stuff. But these games are considered to be really good, and Onimusha Warlords did get a remaster, so maybe they'll do the same for the other games. Trivial Pursuit Unhinged. If you ever want to play Trivial Pursuit. In here we have Shadow of the Colossus, I only have the disc, unfortunately, but of course, one of the all-time greats there. I haven't played it myself, but I hear the game's excellent for its time. Operation Air Assault. Another flight simulator with helicopters. Operation Winback. A third-person shooter here. Orphan. Scorn of Sorcery. I believe this was a launch title for PS2. It was like their first attempt at a JRPG. Outlaw Tennis. Don't know what's so outlaw about it. Maybe some violence in there. I don't know. Land Rover and Ford Off-Road. It's just called Off-Road. But yeah, off-road racing game here. Then we have Pro Evolution Soccer 1, 2 and 3. Of course, got plenty of the PES games. Pro Rally 2002. Another rally game. Showdown Legends of Wrestling. I really want to try this game out. It's made by Acclaim. It's based around the whole like golden era. It looks really good actually. It's probably not a great game by today's standards, but it looks really fun. I have to try this one out because I do love the golden era of wrestling. And there's also some WCW in there as well. Monster Jam. These games are really fun games. Just monster trucks and things. Maximo. This is basically ghouls and ghosts and goblins in 3D. It's based on the same universe, and of course has all the challenge of Ghost and Goblin. Not as hard as Ghost and Goblin, but still some challenge there. Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne. People are asking for a remastered trilogy. I for one would buy it. Mashed Fully Loaded. Another Mashed game there. Maxed Out Racing. Another racing game. Then we have Stuntman Ignition. Stuntman. Really interesting games, the Stuntman ones, where they were like racing games but action games. It's all about driving through a set piece, and you have to sort of like do like, oh, you turn here, go through here. It's all time based. It's very trial and error game, but when you get it down to a T, you feel like a boss. Spartan Total Warrior. I absolutely love this game. Great hack and slash game. Really is a fun game actually. I really love this game. Haven't beat it still though. Street Hoops, another street basketball game. Stock Car Speedway, if you couldn't get enough of Stock Car Crash. RC Revenge Pro. I absolutely love this game. I remember playing it on the PS1 a lot. But this game is awesome. It's a RC game and has everything you could ever want from an RC game. You know, power-ups and customization. You can make your own maps and everything in this, and I loved doing that as a kid. And then last we have Strike Force Bowling. So there we have today's part done. I think it's part 8. Still got a few more to go. A couple more hundred to go. Still love going through the PlayStation 2 collection. I'm going to play some more Yakuza 2 Kiwami tonight. Oh, I'm just getting covered in games. Still, I'm working on Yakuza Kiwami 2. Like I said, I've got Greedfall coming today. I want to know in the comments below what you guys think of Greedfall. I've heard mixed things about it, but it seemed like a game that I could enjoy, like a Witcher style game. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like, and of course comment below. Let me know your favourite PS2 games. Which ones here should I really prioritise on playing before the others? And of course feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and join the family. And as always, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and bye bye.